some of us were privileged to work with the General in the very early years, during the war years and immediately thereafter. And it was a very rewarding experience because the General often talked about the things that later became part of the credo.
We treasure the relationship between you, pharmacists, and Johnson & Johnson. We believe our interests are inseparable, that in serving those who sell our products, we serve ourselves.
He was a remarkable guy in that he set some standards for us back then, which managements throughout the years have continued to maintain, to pursue. I have to put into perspective the years that I spent with the company, which go way back. And it was a different kind of a company. We were building, we were developing, we were going overseas and moving from almost a small enterprise with 2 or 3 affiliates to one with companies in almost every country of the world. And it would have been easy, as could be, for the company at that time to say, well, you know, we don't need all these things. We'll still run it as a private business. But the General was anxious to have his associates then and in the future realize that business had a very real responsibility to society, to its employees, and to its customers. And he talked about quality and the essentiality of maintaining high standards of quality. Our products are going to be absolutely the best in the world. And therefore, you know, the business becomes successful because people will buy your products and stay with your products.
Made only by Johnson & Johnson, the most trusted name in surgical dressing.
Almost in every meeting with the General, he would talk about those things that were basic to, ultimately, what was defined as the credo. The document is unique, but in essence, it's simple. It's a basic soundness of management philosophies. If you want to be successful, you do these things. You have outstanding products, you have superb quality, you do research to refine and modify and improve, you look after your employees, you make sure that they're selected carefully, you train them properly, and you give them benefits over the years, which allows them to feel that they're a part of this family and this enterprise.
Is it realistic, Mr. Sellers, in the credo and in the conduct of the business of Johnson & Johnson, to put profits fifth?
We learned a long time ago that really, if you can't run a business and pay for your part of the responsibilities to your employees and to the community and make a profit at the same time, you better get out of the business. It was not the easiest thing in the world to present our corporate philosophy and our credo to our managements around the world. They'd say, well, the credo, you know, what does it really mean? And then over a period of time, it gave you a real opportunity to sit with those managements and explain all of the things that it meant to us. And they became really the hardcore of credo supporters that again worked to tell successive managements about their feeling for it.
Located in the heartland of New Jersey on the Raritan River and on a direct line from New York to Philadelphia is the city of New Brunswick. By 1974, New Brunswick was at a crucial crossroads. Somehow, a partnership of concerned interests had to be forged together to save New Brunswick and make it a better place to live and work.
Back in the early 70s, Jim Burke and I, Dave Clare, and Phil Hoffman were concerned about where would we put our headquarters, where we're going to grow out of the old facilities which we had here in New Brunswick. And there were some in management that were tempted to say, go to the country, select 200 acres of beautiful land like some of the other corporations and build this new enterprise out there. But we fought for staying in the community, which was General Johnson's home and again was part of our corporate credo, i.e., responsibility to the communities in which we live and work. After all, the hospitals were here, the educational system was here, the merchants were here, and our people lived in the surrounding areas. So it was ultimately a decision to stay here in New Brunswick and built this great tower that you're sitting in today. The credo is unique to Johnson & Johnson. The world management of Johnson & Johnson totally understands, they're committed to living by this rather simple set of corporate objectives or corporate philosophies. The success in the future will depend upon the degree and extent that they can get future managements to feel as they have felt about this enterprise. We feel that we have a deep responsibility to the communities in which we live and work worldwide, so that these things have developed, and hopefully they're here today, and they'll strengthen even further in the future. I hope they do.